What is up, everyone? Welcome to the new patch, and for this video we're going to be playing Lilia jungle, abusing the more broken items that have been released, the Blackfire Torch with the Faded Ashes component. So right away, AP jungle meta, my permaban is Karthus, and there's a really high amount of broken AP junglers in the meta right now. Lilia, Talia are abusing a lot of these components plus the AP item, and also Brand are my three favorites in my opinion. I just permaban Karthus. I don't like Karthus. I don't want to see Karthus, so hopefully Karthus gets harder. But Lilia, for example, I think is going to stay in the meta for some time with these two item components into a possible Rylai's with Zhonya's build path, Crypto for MR or Magic Pen. Super broken champion. So right away, Conquer is the rune. I love this ability, Haste 1. It's really good. You can go Coupe de Grace or Last Stand for your boost, Cosmic Insights, go to. Solo Raptors is extremely easy and my go-to on Lilia. You want to play for farming, which is a very important thing. So when you play Lilia, you aim for a full clear, and if you want to gank, you generally want to gank after full clear. I like the red Pokemon or jungle item. That's my go-to. And important things, your Q, you really have to just sort of practice hitting the outer edge of the Q. For Lilia, you need to understand that it does true damage on the outer part. So a lot of times as I'm jungling, what you're going to notice is me kind of kiting like what I just did to make sure I hit the outer part of my Q. So just important thing to remember is to just kind of play for that. And that's like a general goal when you're playing for Lilia jungle. So I do Krugs because I like to keep my movement speed passive on Prance going as long as possible. It's really important to keep it going. And a big thing about this champion is literally just the passive stacks and just having the movement speed to kind of kite between camps. And here, what I like to do, even though I have Smite, what I like to do is kind of pull it as much as possible to just sort of keep my movement speed as going as long as I can, right? So if I pull it like that, I can sort of keep my movement speed passive relatively close, and I don't have the fear of it dropping off. Because if you get invaded, your movement speed is the key to surviving invades. And here we're going to do Wolves. We're just aiming for a full clear. W is a really straightforward ability. I mean, you're just really using it on the middle part, right? The little dot you see on it is actually where most of the damage comes from. So hit the outer Q, hit the dot W. That's all you need to know when you play Lilia jungle. She's extremely fragile, like a delicate deer. You have to watch out for that. Here I pulled two camps so we can just kind of get the next one started. W straightforward. Your E is a really important part of the kit. You might struggle a lot with hitting your E, so I'll try to really explain how to make it as easy as possible to hit. So here I'm going to just auto a couple more times, and then we're going to go for the kill, as you can see. Here I'm not really afraid. I have E, and I can keep sort of the movement speed going as much as possible. And at this point, you just auto people down. There's really not much else to go. Keep the Q stocks going. And that's a big thing about ganking is you always want to gank when you're sort of finishing your clear. Just like I did, the passive stacks, they drop one by one. So if you can keep your passive going for a gank, the gank is good. If you don't have your passive stocks and you go for a gank, never go for the gank, okay? It's not good. You want to avoid that. So this guy's actually trolling. So what I'm going to do is aim for my E. You know, he's going in a line so he can easily hit that. Now he's in a position where he can just kind of capitalize on that. Here I'm actually going to flash over and see if we can get maybe a bit more damage off. I'm not dead, so I hope Akshan can just finish them off here. Very nicely done. Remember, keep our Q stocks. How do you live in situations? One more, no! No, I could have W'd. I didn't think that was gonna hit. But yeah, keep the Q stocks going. It's a game of cat and mouse, mouse and cat. Here you always want to, you know, fade his ashes with a dark seal or an amp tone. And let's say, like, obviously this is like an ideal situation for me. I get a full clear, I get a gank, I get crab, and we go into another play and we get another kill, right? Obviously super ideal. But if it didn't happen like that, all you need to do is base after your full clear and crab, buy faded ashes, and you're good to go. That's all you have to do to play AP jungle. Welcome to the real world. And name of the game is farming, right? We talked a lot about in recent videos. Power farm. You really need to farm now. So this is a meta where I really want you guys, everyone who watches me, focus on full clear gank, right? This is sort of a strange concept for a lot of people. They always interrupt their clear for something dumb, but I want you all to focus on full clear gank. That's the rule of the game. And you really want to play around that. The movement speed passive is also really important. Here, I could have maybe went for a mid gank, but that's against our philosophy, right? What did I just say? Full clear gank. If your mind was wandering mid to think about maybe ganking that LeBlanc or something, or maybe going bot to gank, that's against the flow of our camps, right? What does the flow of our camp mean? Since our path was bot side, it's taking us up, and the flow is going up river. So we have to keep going up river, and we just play for the objective. It's simple game, simple mind. Special teams, special Lilias. That's all you have to do. Here, I'm going to save my smite because I'm playing for Void Grubs. And if you have an early game like this where you get 6 and you're on Void Grubs, like this is the best situation. Here, I'm going to E and try to go for the sleep on him. We can one-shot this is ideal. I have to watch out for Yone coming, so I'm going to respect that. I need some help here, which is the problem. It's a bit hard for us to get the sleep. But now I should be able to get in. So here I'm going to wait for my Q cooldown. And then I can kind of play off that. There's no lethal tempo anymore, so it might be a possibility that we could potentially fight. But then I missed that Q. And then he missed that Q. I also have no mana, so I'm going to leave. Oh, that wasn't the best performance by Inori, but, you know, a bad performance is still A-okay. Yeah, crab. Who taught this crab how to juke? Somebody tell me, huh? Intelligent little fellow over here. So here, what do we talk about? How do we want to gank? We want to gank after we get our stacks, right? Hit the Q, perfect. Now what we want to do is follow. Just keep following. The Q again. W, and then hit the last Q for the kill. Beautifully done by Inori. Thank you, thank you. Inori, you're playing really good right now. No. I'm playing a broken champion, Lilia. Lilia's playing the map herself. All I'm doing, I'm a passenger for this champion, bro. AP junglers are giga broken. And also, important note, when should you be picking an AP jungler? I think a lot of people don't understand how it should be done. But the moral is, if you have an AD mid, you should always pick an AP jungler. Like 90% of the time. It's really OP if your mid is AD. And also, the less AP on your team, the better it is to play an AP jungler. So for me, I really like this angle because we have Akshan mid. Shaco could have gone AP or AD. Shaco being AP doesn't really affect how enemy team will itemize, so it's still very good for us. So we're really happy with that. And here, what do we want to do? It may seem like a boring concept for a lot of people, but you really do just have to farm, right? Sometimes you can interrupt half your jungle clear. And what I mean by that is you can interrupt half of it. Like instead of going into like wolves into like top side right now, instead what I might entertain is, let's see if we can hit this one. What I might entertain is just a straight dragon play right now. Like I could just go boss side and start a dragon. With how strong we are with this item component finished, it could potentially be a good dragon angle. Even though you could say it's Ocean Drake, right? It slows me. I might be scared. No, I think I'm really strong right now. I now have flash, so I'm really confident that I can just start dragon here. And I actually want them to come so we can have a nice, good angle going on. So here I hit this. I want to get double sleep going, so what we're gonna do is aim for that double sleep. Okay, I got the Soraka, but dude, that silence timing was so unlucky, but I think they might clean up here. I think Akshan kills, in my opinion, if he was brave enough. So here are boots. You can go Sork, you can go CDR. It's up to you. If I was solo AP, I like to go Sorks. If I'm not solo AP, I like to go CDR. Depends on the game. Sometimes I like Merc Trez. I could go Merc Trez here as well. It honestly might have been a good Merc Trez angle. But if you want a Giga Chad, Giga Carry, you definitely want to go Sorks for the big plays. Also, CDR not as popular now because the first item we rush gives us ability haste. So we want to play around that. Here you always want to kind of move to the next camp. If you can do 2 camps at once, it's really good. And now you can sort of see my ability haste is really starting to get really heavy. Also, Void Grubs are up, so we want to play around Void Grubs. Here I do want to kind of entertain this idea. I could play to kill her. I actually think I can one-shot her with a Q flash. So Q flash is a combo on Lilia that you can actually emphasize on. Here you just have to wait for it. Oh. I mean, she came back and she's gone. Soraka R was not what I was expecting. But here the Soraka's actually trying because I can actually run her down. Headshot, but I don't know if Fiddle's coming. Sometimes you just gotta pop up and show fellas what it's all about. You know what I mean? Here I could play for Dragon, but also I really don't like this Soraka and the way she's moving. So what we're gonna do is wait for her to go for a ward clear and then go for the kill. Play around the TP. And that's about it. Here I have move speed, so we're gonna chase her actually. I think I might be able to get something going here. Here we're gonna R her. I'm gonna get out of range of the chain. And Akshan, I salute you. That was a great play right there. Thank you, my brother. And from here on, we just keep farming. We make sure we're really on sync with our farm timers. Sure, void grubs are important for us to get, right? Like, I do want void grubs, but the problem is I'm way too low to enter it, and Fiddle does have control right now. So if you're not gonna get void grubs, what do we do? What would Inori tell you to do? Well, if we're not going to get the top objective, well, we should probably get the bot objective. And that's generally the goal. That's the mindset I have. Also, I'm kind of scared because Fiddle hasn't shown. So Fiddle shows that he's not on the void grubs. My ball lane just reset. It's not good for me to be on the bot objective, right? Because we do not have priority. We're late on recalls. It's better for us to just go for the void grub play. Void grub play when you're solo strong is much easier to force than the dragon play, right? If I'm dragon play kind of revolves around bot lane. Like, even though like I could just win a bot lane fight, I can't just do void grubs. Or sorry, I can't do dragon if my team is just not remotely there. Or if they don't want to help, right? So you have to watch out for that. So I just go for the guarantee void grub play. Void grubs are a great objective too. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's not a bad thing that I'm grabbing void grubs. Something you're probably wondering is like, Inori, didn't you just say like the game's all about farming? Like, why are you skipping camps? Why are you doing these plays? Well, when dragons and objectives are up, your goal is to get objectives. Farming can come right after. And what I need to do right now is to get the objectives, right? And that's my game plan. And here I'm going to start the dragon. If this hits, maybe. She has a ward on dragon? Like, how am I not seeing that ward? So here I actually kind of have to leave. I have to respect that. I'm gonna have to sleep here and go for the Soraka one-shot. We're gonna have to use the movement speed to dodge out everything here. I think I should be fine, but LeBlanc is moving. LeBlanc is a rad. I have to dodge everything, but even if I dodge everything, I'm still a victim to LeBlanc brutality. But listen, I'm obviously popping off. I'm popping off like I've popped off every time since the day I was born. And here we're gonna go into the next broken item, which is a Liandry's. What you really need to know when you're playing is don't be nervous if you're losing early. I'm literally going to be getting every time, like every item, I'm getting stronger and stronger. The scaling with these two components late game, poking with E is extremely broken. So feel really confident in your carry potential. Even if you have a 40% win rate champion as your AD carry, even if your Janna is allergic to winning, it doesn't matter because I am on a strong jungler. Jungle, you actually get so much experience now. It's carryable. Even though my team is inting right now, it's okay because we just have to stack up our passive and try to move to help them. Did I say they were inting? I mean, the enemy team is inting because my team is literally built different. So here are my goals to get the crab and maybe even do a play bot side because Soraka is getting lower and lower. If we pay attention, we remember the enemy team did use Soraka R. It's something we can always punish. So here I'm curious if Jhin is coming and they're TPing. So if we're TPing, how do we want to play the map here? Well, I actually want to kill this Jhin. Remember, flash, you Q flash right after. It's a beautiful play. Beautiful team, beautiful players. Here we're going to E and try to hit the LeBlanc. No dice then. I think that should kill. I have to kind of pass it up here. Actually should be able to kill here now. I should do the trick. There's another TP coming. I'm thinking about how I want to play this. I think I win this actually. No! Okay, maybe I shouldn't have won in. I forgot to rocket silent. You live a dangerous life. You live a dangerous game. Life is not about... Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say. Get him, Akshan. That's the man who did it. That's the murderer. Detective Akshan reporting for duty. Yeah, you let him go. Eyewitness. So here you go Zhonya's or you go Rylai's. Depending on the game, I'm thinking right now, what do I need? Do I need to slow them to catch up to him? To lock them down? Honestly, no, not that much. I could go Zhonya's. Either one is fine. But personally, I think Rylai's is better for snowballing. Zhonya's is better if I was maybe a bit more behind. I like to get the giant belt for a little bit HP. And the reason why you're probably going to know why is Rylai's better to snowball compared to Zhonya's? Well, Rylai's slowing actually gives you a lot more impact in my opinion. Plus Rylai's is much cheaper. It's more offensive than it is defensive. While Zhonya's, it's a much more safer item, but it's very heavily skewed towards the defensive part of it. So here I actually do want to kill this guy. He's far away, so I'm gonna have to stack up. Remember, we always need to stack up our passive after we do something. So here, if I want to go back on this Yone, which I do, don't get me wrong, I have to stack. I want to clear my Chem Swarm here because the Yone wasn't diving. And yeah, we need a break bot top tower here. So remember, Q stacks need to go. So here I'm gonna keep it going. The wave's gone, so I'm gonna here actually ward up and see if we can get something. I'm gonna sleep him just to be safe. Wait. I love that little auto Lilia does when, you know, her little whip. It's a beautiful thing. Here they're chasing, so maybe we'll go for the E here. That beer is so long. Okay, that was too deep. I didn't see LeBlanc there. I was really confident that I could spank them without LeBlanc there. I do think I could. Merkrez is important because of these two champions together. CC is a problem. So is there anything we can do about that? Probably not. Would have to go Zhonya's. And that'd probably be the best option I have. But yeah, the experience is really good. I mean, I'm up on par or ahead of solo laners. That's really important. Really happy about that. It's not gonna kill him. Yeah, Q him and E him. That's not gonna kill him. Bro's building components. I think he forgot items can actually be completed to full like items. But it's okay. I'm really strong right now. Blackfire Torch extremely broken. If I hit E, we can always sleep after. That's usually our goals when we go for any sort of gank play. It's a bit interesting. I don't want to show on the wave because I think LeBlanc is scouting. I do want dragon, so my goal is to stack a passive and then play for dragon. I think LeBlanc is somewhere around here unless she base. So here we're gonna hit the plant and actually go in here is really good. You can get anything on the Jhin, it's really good. Now we have to respect. Here we're gonna R for the sleep. Hit the E slow, keep chasing. Hit one more E slow, and then adios. See ya later. Champions are AP junglers are so broken, bro. Jungle is back, baby. Jungle is back. Well, generally AP junglers are really broken, but there are some tank junglers that are really good too right now. Honestly, I haven't played Lilia in like 6 months, but you see what you can do. Knowledge, power, respect. You would just do the dragon, easily do a solo. And I also love Bran. Personally, I'm more in... Lilia is really good right now, but Lilia is hard. If you want to play an AP jungler, I would say like Lilia and Bran are your two like easiest that are the strongest. I think Lilia is really hard. I also think Lilia is going to get nerfed because she's really broken mid too. I think Karthus is going to get gutted to the ground, and also I hate Karthus. That's my firm ban. And what else? What else? Nidalee is actually really good right now, but Nidalee is very difficult, so you have to watch out for that. Yeah, jungle experience is really OP. I mean, you can really out-level people or keep up with soul laners. Really important about carrying. So I'm really happy with jungle now. Jungle is quite literally saved for that regard. Here, my mana is I'm gonna have mana regen, so I'm gonna go and play for this bot tower. Tower is extremely good for breaking. But one thing you have to remember is if you use all your spells while you're jungling, like in a lane, you might run out of mana, so you always have to watch out for that. Yeah, I really don't think you need CDR boots. I'd probably go Sork or like Merc Treads, just because you get a lot of ability haste now. With just in general, with how this item gives you, 25 ability haste, just like that. Really nice for AP junglers. And here, we always want to go into the Seekers if you can buy that first. You always want to buy this over this because this gives you only a one-time use active. So always use it if you can. It's quite pointless to not use it because it doesn't do anything. So you always want to try to use it ASAP. So if you can afford this over Rod, always try to go for that. And here I'm thinking, how do I want to play the map right now? I think Yone, I could easily bait him into all in. Also, he's kind of weak. I think Yones are quite predictable that they always want to sort of keep pushing the next wave. If they don't show up here, then okay. They always want to sleep after the combo. Now we're going to kite. I'm far too tanky for him to kill, so we can always just kite around. Goofy mode. The Lilia the deer. There we actually knew how mechanics work on champions, where he can E the bubble. That's something that works with Yone E. It makes him unstoppable, so he's always here. He can always use it. My team is a bunch of marshmallows, unaware of the fact that we could easily get Baron right now, as I'm waiting patiently. For my team, we can admire Lilia's beauty. Beautiful deer. Love fawns. I mean, yeah, just Baron is really easy, super fast for us to do. Always kind of look to throw an E here to hit someone coming. You can easily get a sleep here, a really good angle. And Lilia is just understanding like how to combo around her sleep, knowing how to play around her outer rim of the Q. Like your Q is not really doing damage unless you're hitting the outer part of it. And I want you to emphasize that. E is always a really strange concept of how it works, but it pretty much rolls in a line. So the initial part, like throwing it where it hits, it has like a big AoE, so you can always hit that. So here if I want to hit Jhin, let's say, how do I hit Jhin with E? Well, let's see, how was he moving earlier? He was moving like that, so you can easily play around that. Auto attack as much as possible. Get into Q range. Auto one more time. You actually want a Q flash for this double sleep. I should have Q'd Zhonya's there. Always independent Lilia trying to get something with her life, and then a LeBlanc shows up to one-shot her. Like, it's disgusting. Equal rights, equal play. Come on. Come on now. Don't be silly. What they doing to us? There obviously was going for a crazy play. Sometimes you gotta be crazy. That's just how life is. Q flash into R sleep combo into a W Q is a really guarantee kind of play like that. That's really nice. You kind of kite around. You see how I always like prance around dance when after I hit them with like the Q into the sleep. I'm mostly waiting for my spells to come back up. A lot of it is just waiting for the Q to come back up. And you can always hit a W when you sleep them, right? It's guaranteed to hit the middle part. Your W is kind of garbage unless you can guarantee that it hits the middle component, the dot part. That's why you always kind of see me kiting like that. And it's just good because you're avoiding damage, right? Like I'm just moving around. I'm always trying to avoid damage with my kiting, right? Like it's an important part. The reason why Lilia is broken is her passive at full stack. If you're tanky enough, you just never die. Here I'm extremely strong right now. Here always like try to go for Qs on waves and stuff like that. Trying to flank here. Remember we stack up passive is always really nice. And once I stack up, I can just leave. I'm gonna ward here. I saw someone creeping up, so I don't know who it was. Fiddle. I'm gonna look to fight on this, so I'm gonna stack up my pass and then go in hand. Didn't know flash. We can Q here. Just gonna run. Not much else to it. I got them pretty low. I'm gonna heal up on Raptors again. You can easily heal up with your passive. I'm gonna play around for the fight here, so I'm going on Jhin. My goal is really simple. Keep kiting, hitting Zhonya. Oh, bro, I was about to Zonya's there. Final items, you need a Void. This Void is much better, so always go Crypto. Solo Void item is kind of bad right now, but they might buff it in the future. I actually think my team's strong enough to end here. Janna, come on! Tailwind! Wind! Use the wind, sister. They probably won't end, so it might be another fight. So if we're gonna go scrap again, we're gonna be ready to scrap. Gotta have a scrapper's mindset. Yeah, I've been trolling with my Zhonya's, but it's okay. Good thing about this item, it just also gives you a bunch of free stats. Not free, I bought it, but it gives you a bunch of tanky stats. 50 armor is really good. 120 AP is really good. It's a very strong component. Here, if they're gonna get dragon without me, I'm gonna just go and try to clear my top side out. And obviously, I'm super ahead. If you're the jungler farming, you make a huge jungle gap. You can see this guy stopped farming. Never stop farming. Accelerate yourself. Keep farming. Junglers that are good right now can continuously farm and just non-stop farm camps while also pressuring. And with the new experience on the jungle camps, it's even more important the later it goes to keep farming. Here, Yone's a little rat that we're going to have to punish here. Surprised he wants to fight me. I've shown that I'm way too strong. Keep hitting spells, keep hitting slows. Remember, I have Zhonya's, right? So we're playing around it. I was trying to run. There's no running away from Destiny. Actually, way closer than I thought that was going to be. He has no flash from earlier. So I'm going to just keep kiting. My Zhonya's is down, so I have to respect that. But this Jhin, remember, we know he has no flash, so we can play around flash range. When they're mad, they're really mad, right? Like, knowing if they have flash or not, that's a big thing. You always want to think about that, Summers. It tells me whether I need to flash in or if I can just easily step out and just play that kite. A lot of Lilia is actually just kiting, so you really want to kite. Really kite. AP jungle is so broken right now. Jungle, you love jungle. Jungle's so good. Jungle is love. Jungle is life. Hope you guys liked that video. It would have been Crypto. Banshees, you need a void staff item later in the game. You can always sell something like Rylai's for Banshees if you really need it. If you guys like that video, be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck on the clean and good luck on the climb.